Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica and today I have my first sketchbook tour. This sketchbook is a Leuchtturm 1917 sketchbook in turquoise, and I'm trying to think of the weight of the paper. It's more like sketchbook paper rather than mixed media, though I did use some mixed media in here and that's why the pages are kind of bulky. But this sketchbook took me just under a year to finish because I wasn't making it a regular habit. This is my first sketchbook tour. This is the voiceover video. I did have another video I uploaded which is just music and just a flip through. It's a shorter video, so if you want to go check that out instead of listening to me talk about what's in the sketchbook and about what I drew, you can go check out that video. There's gonna be mentions of videos from inside my sketchbook, and if I do mention a video, I'll be sure to put a link in one of the corners to those videos if you want to go check that out. But other than that, let's just get right into it. So like I said, I started this sketchbook in May of 2017 and I finished it on April 15th, so just under a year. And I left this page blank to start with. A lot of people do that. I am one of those people that has a problem with deciding what to put on the first page. So when I finish the book, I put this quote here because I really like it. So this is my first page and it is a couple practicing features from a Skillshare course that I took when I had a free trial. And here I am, I just keep practicing them. They are not the best. One thing you'll notice about this sketchbook is it starts off at a low skill level, so I wasn't very good at things, and then near the end of the sketchbook you can see me improve. I started to use some watercolor in the book, and it definitely warps the pages. It's not meant to have watercolor in it, but you can still use it. It just won't be the best looking. I use Pinterest a lot for inspiration and things to reference. Still practicing features. I tried watercoloring some eyes. I think those turned out alright. I was trying to design some simple pictures to use for maybe a pattern. This is also from a Skillshare class. This I was just swatching out some cheap watercolor pencils I got. I didn't like the way you could still see the pencil, so I ended up using them just to sketch with. This is a video I created using this Pentel brush pen with permanent ink inside, and I really liked how that rose turned out. I think it looked really pretty. This one I was playing around with a Skillshare class and using my watercolor paints, and I imagined that they were different coffee flavors and if I had creamer, and how I think that blended really well. And I tried using masking fluid to do like a latte design, but I made a note, no masking fluid to use in this sketchbook. It just ripped the paper right off. And this is a picture I sketched and colored of one of my favorite mugs, which I have right here. I can show you. So I love this mug. It was handmade. I got it from a market, and it's ceramic, and here's the little leaf detail right here. It's a little dark, but yep, one of my favorite tea mugs. So here I was gonna plan out a travel journal from when I went on my honeymoon, but I didn't like that, and then I used the rest of the page to plan out how I wanted to end some of my YouTube videos, which I did back earlier in the year. This I was trying to draw a peony, and it was really hard because all the leaves and petals were all entangled, so I ended up just using some watercolor. These are some notes. Skillshare class for hand-drawn wallpaper, but it's really just for making patterns, and I really enjoyed it and I wanted to remember how to do it so I could try it in the future. This I drew in July of 2017, but it was near the end of a show me and my husband were watching called Black Sails about pirates, and I really liked it, and she was one of my favorite characters, so I wanted to draw her. This I really love. It's one of my favorite drawings I did in this sketchbook, I did this in August. So you see I jumped from July to August, so I wasn't using my sketchbook as much as I wish I did. But I ended up going to Maryland with my parents, and my dad's a science teacher, and he likes to go fossil collecting, so I went out there with them and we stayed like a weekend in a cabin at the edge of the ocean, and me and him went and collected all these fossils, and I went to the museum and got their names, and I ended up sketching them all. This, and again I jumped to September, so this was my planning page for a video I did with Emma Butcher. Me and her have become really good friends here on YouTube. I have done several collaborations with her, so you should check out those videos and go check out her channel. She's really sweet. But this one we were doing an animal from each other's country. This is a flying fox, and I took some notes when I was looking them up to reference, and some little sketches I did and planned out using my colors. This is near the end of the Game of Thrones. This is when you find out that the Night King turned one of her dragons into a White Walker dragon. I used a lot of water on this page. I was gonna go back and add texture, but I was worried I would ruin his face, so I didn't do that. And then I sketched her out, and that was not the best sketch, so don't look. Okay. So these are some really quick gesture drawings. These are just 60-second ones. I use just a free website where it changes it really quickly for you. I definitely recommend dating your drawing so you can see how much you improve. Here's just some hand gestures, and the page was really boring, so I wanted to add some color to it. These are some animal gestures, also 60 seconds, and I just wanted to add a pop of color. Here's our faces, and oh my gosh, these are so bad. So yeah, next. This is one of my koi fish I have in my tank, and I was just sketching out different poses and trying to do just loose koi with just paint. This is a picture of my dog when he was a puppy, and I just sketched his face really quick because he looked cute. And then this is his mom, who we also have, and her name's Shoshana. This I was just playing around with, trying to sketch out peonies. I forget what was under here, but this is a sketch I did on computer paper when I did my Christmas watercolor cards. And I just wanted to tape it in here, and I had some Christmas washi tape that looked cute. Then I thought about doing a story about a mouse for Inktober and basically illustrating a page a day, but I didn't feel like I had enough of a story to continue on with that. I started to try to sketch an icon for my YouTube channel. I wanted to sketch something out that looked like me. So these are some sketches I actually did at work, and I just taped them in here. Here I tried sketching with pen, which is very scary. So I thought this one was the best one that looked good. Here I am using those watercolor pencils just to sketch with. And here I am again. I just wrote down some 2018 goals, so I probably did this page in December or January. Here was a couple thumbnails for a piece I was gonna do. I ended up not liking any of them. Here I swatched out my Prima Marketing Pastel Dream Set that I got for Christmas, and I did a video about that. I swatched out my Fine Tech Pearl colors, and I love these paints. I have a video I'm working on of a review of those. Here I just mixed them in with some of my Sheen Hand watercolor set to see how they work together. This is the Prima Marketing set that I did to see if what kind of skin tones I could get. And this is where I feel like my sketchbook really took a turn. I started doing a couple studies of artists that I really enjoy watching here on YouTube. I was kind of in a creative slump, so what I did is I copied. This is from Jacqueline DeLeon, and I love her channel. Definitely go check her out. I'm gonna try to post the picture over here of what I was referencing, but I feel like by drawing other people's artwork, you get an idea of how they work, and it gave me ideas of how I need to structure my own faces or my own style. So a lot of people have controversy over copying other artists' work, but this is not to sell or claim as my own. You know, I clearly labeled who I was referencing, and it was more for like studying. So this one was done by Bailey J. So I'll try to put the photo over here that I was referencing. This one is Leilani Joy. This one is Frannerd, but these are all YouTubers I enjoy watching, and you learn a lot. Like when I was drawing this, I realized she doesn't worry about proportion, and she's very confident with her lines, and I could understand that when I tried to draw it or copy it. I don't know, it was really interesting. So I did a couple of those, and I felt like that really inspired me and kickstarted me to get back into doing the portraits. So I started doing some more sketches, and these are not the best. This one was thumbnails I did with a recent collab with What You Drawing. This was my first kind of watercolor portrait. I was pretty proud when I first completed this. And then I feel like my portraits started to get really good from here on out. This one I came back and did. So these two are older than this one. I started to date them because you can really see my progression, and I found it hard to not go back and refine my older ones. I recommend you don't do that, so that way you can see how much you progress. So here I got a erasable pen, and I started sketching more faces, and I ended up just going back with some watercolor to make the page more interesting. And so here I am again, that same erasable pen, but I only used watercolor around the ones that I liked the most. And I just kept going and going. I was like, I can see myself getting better, so I just wanted to keep pushing myself. Here I tried to draw a guy, and I don't think that turned out very well. This face I'm not happy with, but I ended up getting some brush markers. They're not waterproof because I tested that out, but these are the Kelly Creates brush pens that I was teaching myself to letter with. And here I was just playing with them over some watercolor. This picture, it's funny because I saw a picture on Pinterest of this baby, and there was just something about it, and I really wanted to sketch it out, and all I had was this pen, which ended up not even being waterproof, but this took me like 5 minutes to do, and I sketched it out really quick, and I was like, oh, I really want to add some color, and I don't know, there's something about it. I really like this one. Here I practiced some more lettering. I went to a gem and mineral show with my dad, and I got some crystals and the ammonite, and I wanted to try watercoloring them, and they were actually pretty hard to draw and reference, so I'm going to keep practicing on those. So this is near the end of March that I did both of these portraits. This one I felt like she looked like a fox, so that's why I did the orange around her eyes, and then some leaves. These two I just sketched, and I felt like I was trying to get better with the hair. I didn't like the way the hair looked on this one, so I tried to go a different route here on this one. And I just brushed some watercolor over top because it actually seals in the lead so it doesn't transfer when you close the pages. And I like this shirt she had on. It was like a fishnet lacy top. So here we're on April 2nd, and I feel like when I drew this, I was like, oh, this is my favorite sketch so far in my whole sketchbook. And I was still practicing drawing some peony flowers. These were a couple minute quick sketches. I was trying to do different expressions, and then I wanted to draw some braids and a quick rose. Then I drew this one, and I was really happy with the hair and her expression, so this is kind of one of my favorite ones in here. Over here, oh my gosh, this is not the best, but I tried to draw Theo James, the actor. He was kind of hard to draw, but I don't know, I think it kind of looks like him. Then this one I just really loved practicing the hair on. The angle of the face is a little wonky, but I loved how this turned out. And then I was still practicing the hair, and this is like a bun with a braid up the back. This one I started to, I was still working on her hair and the features, and I started to include some hands. I love these irises I drew. And then this one I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best picture in my sketchbook when I drew this one. And this was on April 14th. So I started to draw like every couple days, like every 3 days, and I felt like it was really helping me improve. This one I sketched out and I ended up going over with my Pentel brush pen with the India ink to see how it looked, and I liked how it made the details in the hair look. And then here I was trying to incorporate hands a little more. This I think is my absolute favorite sketch in this whole sketchbook. I'm really proud of this one. I think it turned out really well. I have problems with getting them about the same size, but that's pretty close. And then I liked her hair, how it came out. This one I was trying to sketch a full body, which I'm still obviously working on, but I filled it in with that permanent ink Pentel pen, and then I just wanted to do a little bit of a background with my Fine Tack Pearl colors. I'm not really happy with her. And then this one I tried to sketch a different type of ethnicity, and I wanted to start drawing like rooms and details. I had finished my sketchbook when I drew this, but I didn't start a new one, so I wanted to put it into this one. And then I ended with this one. I don't know, after watching some artists draw rooms, it made me really want to get into drawing all the little details that show like how a character is or what they enjoy doing or their personality. So I think I'm going to continue on in my next sketchbook. And I ended the book with the end is just the beginning. It's another quote I really like. That's pretty much it for this sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed my first sketchbook tour. Please make sure you like and subscribe for more art videos. I got some fun things coming up. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!